G'day all, it's Colin from PC TLC and thanks for joining me. In this video we're going to be checking out the EzeeLinux 21 beta installer. I believe they've changed a few things within the installer, so I'm going to be checking that out, and the usual Uefi boot partition with a swap, a root partition and a home partition, just to see how all that works out. I'll be installing it on my Lenovo ideapad 110, which has the distro that I was looking at a little while ago called PakOS, still has that installed. So I'm going to be wiping that off and doing a fresh install of EzeeLinux and creating all the partitions. So that's what we're going to be up to in this video. So let's check it out. Okay, so we're going to put our MX21 beta USB in the slot of my Lenovo ideapad 110, which says down there. Now try and make sure the footage is not doing any crazy autofocus, if I can do that. So what I'm interested to see is, since I've done the persistent video, I just wanted to make sure that that this boots function F12. I just wanted to make sure that this USB boots on Uefi, which is the Olympus Lite on the Lenovo ideapad, because the persistent USB did not do that. Let's do that, and let's boot EzeeLinux. And here we are in the live desktop of EzeeLinux. So that booted in Uefi, so it's just the persistence that wasn't booting in Uefi. So what I'm going to do is connect to the internet and continue live on the desktop. So I'm just going to quickly, I thought I'd show this, install. Let's go to MX package installer. Demo is the password for the live EzeeLinux root password is demo, and screencast I need a screencast. Simple screen recorder, install, and the following packages were selected. It looks like it was doing a repo update there, so took a little bit longer than normal, but that's click OK on that, and that is Simple Screen Recorder complete. So let me get Simple Screen Recorder set up and I'll see you on the desktop. Right, so Simple Screen Recorder is up and running. We are now on the desktop, live desktop, and we're going to be installing MX21 beta. So let's get on with that. So before proceeding, close all other applications. Well, I cannot close my Simple Screen Recorder. So on each page, please read the instructions, make your selections, and then click on Next when you are ready to proceed. You will be prompted for confirmation before any destructive actions are performed. So let's continue. So now we've got a selection of regular install using the entire disk. Now I was doing a video a while ago on PakOS, so I still have PakOS installed on here. I cannot remember how I installed it, whether it was with Uefi. I'd have to think so, maybe, or it could be still on legacy. Let's continue that. We'll customize the disk layout, so we'll do customized. Let's do that. So the SDB is my Toshiba USB running this live system. Now it looks like I installed that in legacy. Now it looks like they've made some changes to the installer. Let's full screen that. So it looks slightly different now. So I'm assuming that if we click on one of these, we can delete it, remove an existing entry, and we've also got mount options as well. So I want to do a Uefi install. So let's delete that one. So we can right click on that, and we can right click on that. Okay, so we can mark the selected drive to be cleared for a new layout. So we can't do anything there, so that's marked that to be cleared. Okay, so we can do that. That's a nice choice. Now we can click on that and then add a new one, SDA1. We'll give that, oops, 512 megabytes. It'll be ESP, FAT32, that's correct. Do we need to give it the boot flag? Set boot flag. Beautiful. Look at that. That's really nice. So let's go back to here and add another one. We'll do 4096 megabyte swap. And that's done. Then we can add. So it's going from highest to lowest. So I think what we should do is delete that, and delete that. Let's add again. That's okay. So I'm going to make a let's see, 400, 1, 2, 3, 400,000 megabyte home partition. Be ext4. I don't want it encrypted at this point in time. So then we add another one. We'll make that 60,000. That will be root. Then we'll add another 4096 to be swap. And then we'll add a, oops, let's delete that. Go back to here. And then we'll add a 512 megabyte. ESP FAT32. Now, unless I'm reading this wrong, I think it'd be nice if it changed the size of the disk so you know how much you have remaining somewhere, but it doesn't really tell you that. It'd be nice if it sort of give you some calculation as to how much space you got left. So it does it in reverse. I don't know why it does that in reverse, because normally that's how I would set it up. So I'd like to see the first disk that you create be SDA1 and move forward inclining in numbers rather than declining. In other words, what I'm saying is it'd be nice if I did this one first and it went SDA1 and then SDA2, because that's the order I normally do it in. But I had to get the trusty calculator out to make sure that I wasn't overusing the disk space, because there's nothing really telling me there that how much space I've used. So it'd be nice to have a calculation going on there. That would be awesome. You can choose to encrypt these two drives if you want, or just your home drive. So I don't know why it selected all three and then I have to unselect them or deselect them. So if you choose to encrypt your home drive, then you got the option of putting your password down here. You can choose to check for bad sectors if you wish. You probably only do that if you suspect there's an issue with your disk. But I'm not going to encrypt anything there, and I'm going to move forward. Let's go next. I suppose I should have read. It did say to read the side, didn't it? The partition list allows you to choose what partitions are used for this installation. Device, this is the block device name. Size of the partition, this can only be changed on a new layout. Label, the label is assigned to the partition once it has been formatted. Okay. And to use this partition in an installation, you must select something here, which we've done. Okay, so I've done everything I wanted to do. Let's click next. SDA3 to be used for root, SDA4 to be used for home, SDA1 to be used for EFI system partition, and SDA2 to be used for swap. These actions cannot be undone. Do you want to continue? Yes. And it's got it up there, ESP for SDA1. Nice, that should work. There shouldn't be any problems with that. And while that's installing, we can continue. I know I've sat at that screen before waiting for it to finish. People have said, you know, you can continue. I do know that. It's just a habit. Okay, so the computer name, I will call this, yep, MX. Let's leave MX there. MX Lenovo. Let's do that. Don't need a domain, really. Samba server work group, yep. Oh, we have to put a domain. I should have left that as default, shouldn't I? What was it? Domain.com or something. I think it was that. That'll do. And the locale for me will be, well, English United States, and time zone is Australia and Perth. Is that right? There's no English Australia there. Australian English, there we go. The system clock I like in 24 hours. And the system clock uses local time. I think that's only if you're dual booting with Windows. Yes, I think if you're dual booting with Windows, you set this to use local time. Choose next. Default user login name. Default user password. Root password. You can choose auto login. Save live desktop changes. So if you've set the live desktop up the way you like it, you can choose to save those changes. And upon booting into MX Linux on your first boot after install, those changes will be effective. Let's click next. So I don't want to automatically reboot the system when the installer is closed. I need to save my video. So let's uncheck that and click finished. I'll save my video and we'll do a reboot. So what we're going to do is shut the computer down and remove everything from the USB slots. Let's do that. And hopefully we have a successful boot for MX Linux. MX Linux Wildflower. Put in my password. And there we have a successful boot of MX Linux. So here we are on the post-install of MX Linux 21 beta. We've got some updates pending there. Let's check that out. Automatically answer yes to all prompts during upgrade. I think I'll do that. Automatically close terminal window when upgrade complete. Let's do that as well. And let's upgrade. And that is the upgrade complete for MX Linux 21 beta. Now, I did remember people saying when the beta first came out about the conky is not very well presented in regards to color because of the background. Oh, did I just turn that off? Okay, so conky, let's have a look. There should be, you can probably change that, I would have thought. Conky, let's check it out. MX conky. Okay, so let's see, we've got format here, colors. So we could probably change, what does this do? Color. Can we click on that? No, so we need to change the color to probably a white color. Let's try that. That's better. And that blue one there could be a bit more outstanding as well. There we go. And we've got this brownie type color. Which one's that one? Maybe this one. Let's make that black. And then we got this one here. Let's make those probably yellow as well, I think. And these yellow ones, maybe we can make them like a bright blue, maybe. Actually, could probably make that white as well. Let's choose a white color somewhere there. Okay. And there we go. Now you can see your conky clock. Oh, so that changes. So actually, let's make this one, this top one yellow. Let's do that. There we go. A little bit easier on the eyes. So you can change that if you wish. So that's the, do you want to preserve the original file? Yes, let's do that. It was backed up to home. MX Cohen Blue. MX Cohen Blue Roboto. Yep, okay, so it's backed up. So now what we can do is go to MX Tools, install some codecs. Let's do that. Do you assume legal responsibility for downloading these codecs? I certainly do. Codecs files have been downloaded and installed successfully, and that was pretty quick. And then we've got the tweak tool here, where you can move the panel. So you can move your panel from top to bottom, left to right. I just might leave it where it is at the moment because I'm only on a smaller laptop. There's no NVIDIA drivers here, so I don't need to worry about that. Let's just see what MX-Linux offers out of the box. Office Suite. Let's go to LibreOffice Calc and see what version they're on. I have to think 7, the early 7 I would have to think. 7.0.4.2, so looking pretty good there. Then you've got the package installer, which allows you to install Flatpaks. MX-Linux includes this repository of Flatpaks for the user's convenience only and is not responsible for the functionality of the individual Flatpaks themselves. And that's fair enough. Do not show this message again. Put in a password. So it'll probably populate all the Flatpaks, I would think, from FlatHub. I think that's probably what it might do. Yep, it's got the FlatHub repo up there. And there's all the FlatHubs you can install. Fair enough. You can also go to popular applications, which is where I installed Simple Screen Recorder. You got your stable repo. So you can install anything that comes default for Debian. The one I like to search for is my Cherry Tree, and Cherry Tree is actually in the stable repos. Don't think it used to be in the stable repos. Maybe that's because MX has provided it. That's good to see. And then you got your Debian backports. So you are about to use Debian backports, which contains packages taken from the next Debian release called testing. Adjusted and recompiled for usage on Debian stable, they cannot be tested as extensively as in the stable releases of Debian and MX-Linux, and are provided on an as-is basis with risk of incompatibilities with other components in Debian stable. Use with care. That's good information. So the backports can probably give you LibreOffice, probably the latest, LibreOffice 7.1.5.2, and the one that was in here was it 7.042 or something? 7.0.4.2, okay. And in the backports it's 7.1.5.2. So if you require the latest LibreOffice, then MX-Linux makes it very easy to get those backports installed. But bear in mind, you could have issues with that. I doubt it, but there can be certain amount of dependency issues you could come across by doing that. The certain amount of risk that you take there. And then you got the MX test repo, and you're about to use the MX test repository, whose packages are provided for testing purposes only. It is possible that they might break your system. So it's suggested that you back up your system and install or update only one package at a time. So yes, that's what happens when you're dealing with the testing packages. And let's have a look, see if they've got HTOP in here. I'm pretty sure they have, yep. Let's see what we're running. So I'm recording a simple screen recorder, and I've been opening a lot of things, and we're still running at only 941 megabytes. That's pretty good. So maybe I need to do a fresh boot and see what it comes up as. But still the CPU usage is very respectable considering what I'm recording and have been doing on this system. So that's pretty good indeed. Now we'll just have a quick look at what packages are installed here. Got some games. Graphics, you've got GThumb, Lazy Paint, haven't heard of that one before. Document Scanner, Internet Firefox, Thunderbird, and Transmission, all you need. music player, Clementine, a Sunder CD ripper. That's a great application to have. And that's what the codecs would have been handy for, is a CD ripper. If you've got a CD and you want to rip some music, that's a really good ripper to use. I installed Simple Screen Recorder. They got VLC Media Player out of the box, Webcamoid, and XF Burn. And of course the LibreOffice, Foliate, which is View eBooks, and a QPDF View. I don't know, that one there always gets me tongue twisted for some reason. And then you got the, your settings and the enormous amount of MX tools provided out of the box as well. Now, in regards to the conky clock here, if you went to desktop settings and changed your wallpaper, if they had more, they got backgrounds, and have we got anything else? Probably not. So they've only got the one wallpaper. So you can add your own wallpaper if you wanted to. Is that under backgrounds? Yes. So that's where your background. So they've only got the one. Menus and icons. And you've got, and let's just have a quick look at the tooltip there. Simple Screen Recorder. So it looks like one is white and one is dark. That's interesting. Firefox, let's see which Firefox they've got out of the box. Firefox 90.0.2. And that is MX Linux 21 Beta, looking very good so far, running really well on this Lenovo IdeaPad 110. It's not the strongest computers in the world. Let's just check out the info on this computer. Let's just do that quick system info. Let's have a look at that. So that is the system info, just in case anyone wants to know what type of laptop MX Linux is running on right now, and running very good as well, considering it's not the highest spec of laptops in the world. And press any key to close. We do have the benchtop and profiler. Where to see that? System profiler. If you wanted more of a GUI information there, summary, and that's the summary there. It's probably a little bit more simplistic there. So that was MX Linux 21 Beta post-install. Just a quick look around and checking performance, and as expected, MX Linux does not let you down, performing quite well on this low-spec laptop. So I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you found it interesting and informative, and thanks for watching.